Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. It's Ray Ray. Now, this is the first major astrological video on my channel, okay? And I thought I'd post one just to see what the response is, and if you guys like them, then I'll post more in the future as well. But the topic of this one is really important to me because this big shift that we're all going to be experiencing this year and next year is going to affect us all, basically. Pluto is going to dip his toes into the Aquarian waters this year for a couple of months, and then he's going to move back into Capricorn. Okay. Um, but then next year he does move into Aquarius for good. Okay. So basically, because Pluto's orbit is so big, he takes 248 years to orbit the sun. Okay. Nobody who's living today has experienced Pluto in Aquarius before. So it's going to be a new kind of energy for all of us to deal with collectively, and of course on an individual basis as well. So as you can see, Pluto's orbit is a lot bigger than all of the other planets in the solar system, but it is also very different as well. Pluto has what is known by scientists as an elliptical orbit, and that means that basically it's in the shape of an ellipsis rather than, a circle. At each end of Pluto's orbit are the signs Scorpio and Taurus. And because they are at the edge of Pluto's elliptical orbit, what happens is he's only in those signs for roughly around 9 years. Okay, just a little less than a decade. But those two signs are the signs of extremities as well. Whenever Pluto changes sign, huge generational shifts occur. Okay, so let's just rewind a little and look back to when Pluto moved into the signs that it has over the last 50 to 60 years. Okay, so basically, Pluto entered Virgo in 1952. Now, Virgo is the sign of psychoanalysis. It is a mercurial sign. It rules over one's perception, and one's analytical mind. And during this age, when Pluto was in Virgo, there was a huge rise in psychoanalysis. There was also more interest in psychology as well. People just begin to become even more self-aware in the level of their thoughts, their mind, their belief systems, and their perception as a whole during that time. Pluto then shifted into Libra, okay, at the end of the 70s. And then what happened is we began to see a real spike in the divorce rates around the world, especially in the Western world. But, and this is because Pluto is the destroyer. It tends to destroy anything it touches, that is capable of being destroyed. Pluto is the destroyer of illusions. Really, it is Shiva, the destroyer of ignorance. Okay. And what happened is when Pluto entered into Libra, people began to just prioritize their own inner peace and harmony over their failing marriages. And what happened as a result of that, we started to see even more divorces worldwide. In the 80s, then Pluto moved into Scorpio, okay, which is its ruling sign. And that's when the big spiritual awakening to prepare the world for the end of the Piscean age truly began, okay? Pluto was in Scorpio until around 1993 or 94, I believe. And during that time, the people who were born in that generation, especially, will many of them living today, even I'm one of them. I'm not being biased at all when I say this, but many of them living today, are the ones who are handed the mantle from those teachers who have gone before us to really, lay the groundwork for the coming of the age of Aquarius. Okay. And you're seeing many who were born in that generation between 1984 to 1993 doing just that. Okay. And then after that, obviously, Pluto moved into Sagittarius, which is the sign of the higher self or the higher mind. So what happened there was people just began to collectively become more aware of their own higher self. Now, this concept has been around for, since time immemorial, but because of the new age movement and things like that, more and more people collectively just become more aware of their higher non-linear aspect of their consciousness and, began to really connect to it on a deeper level as well. And then over the last 15 or so years, Pluto has been in Capricorn, which is the sign of the government. It is the sign of old traditions. It is also the sign of one's, work and vocation and career and so on. And we've seen an immense shift, haven't we? A lot more people are working online now, growing their online business. More people are becoming more self-independent. More people are becoming self-employed. We've seen a huge uprising, LLCs or limited companies, but we've also become more aware of just how corrupt the government is as well, and other institutions such as the Roman Catholic Church, which it was really unfortunate for me when I learned this, but has a lot of paedophile rings, for example. But and even like Hollywood was seeing the whole Epstein thing, for example. We're just seeing collectively now just how corrupt this matrix that the elite have weaved over our eyes is, and you know, Pluto in Capricorn has really been bringing all of that to light. Long may it continue while he remains in Capricorn. We're not quite done with Pluto in Capricorn yet. Okay, so here's why. So March 23 this year, Pluto enters into Aquarius for the first time, but then on June 11th, 2023, Pluto will be retrograde and he's going to move back into Capricorn. Okay. And then on January the 20th, 2024, Pluto is going to re-enter Aquarius again. Okay. And then on September the 1st, 2024, Pluto is going to retrograde again back into Capricorn. Okay. But then November the 19th, 2024, Pluto will re-enter into Aquarius for good. Okay. So that is the movement of Pluto and his, oscillation between Capricorn and Aquarius over these next couple of years. So you may be wondering what is going to happen while Pluto enters into Aquarius. I'm glad you asked, because I've been saying for a while now some of the things that I believe will occur. Okay. And you can totally vote me on this. It's fine. Okay. Here's what I believe is going to happen. Aquarius represents technology. It represents all things futuristic. So we're going to be seeing huge scientific breakthroughs. We're going to be seeing things like AI becoming more prominent. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, to be honest. We'll wait and see. We're going to be seeing more equality as well. Obviously, the whole, LGBTQ movement and, the Black Lives Matters movement have really, even though sometimes they may take things a little bit to the extremes, they've still been, side effects of the world entering into the age of Aquarius, because, of course, we all want more equality for all people. Everybody's a human being and everyone deserves to be treated as such in a respectful manner. And we're going to be seeing more equality established around the world, but even more acceptance of the equality. And that's a different thing, because there's still a lot of people in resistance to that, obviously. Now, even I am not the biggest fan of the way some of those movements go about things. But at the end of the day, I love people from all races. I love trans people. I've got no issue with anyone, so I hope we can establish a more settled and balanced approach to equality during Pluto and Aquarius. And I do believe that will occur for sure. Also, you may have seen on the news recently, there's been a huge, especially in the ufology communities, the government in America have even had to come out saying that, the things that have been shooting out the sky aren't extraterrestrial. Now, I mean, I believe them on this occasion, don't get me wrong. But over the past couple of decades, especially, we've been seeing huge spikes and, in extraterrestrial encounters and sightings all over the world. Now, I've had many experiences and I've seen many things as well that I do believe are otherworldly in nature. And I do believe this. I believe that during Pluto and Aquarius, at some point, we are going to be having open contact on a global level with extraterrestrial civilizations. Okay. And the world has been being prepared for this for decades now. Obviously, they can't just come down when we're not ready. But even the rumors that, they were things that the government have been shooting down, no one freaked out. Between 80 to 90% of people believe that extraterrestrials exist. Now, many of them may not believe that they're actually visiting us because space is so damn vast, obviously. But I do believe that they're already here. They're just not showing themselves to people on a mass scale. They are showing themselves to individuals and small groups of people as well. And that's what the CE5 movement is all about, for example. Okay. But on a global level, we're not quite there yet, but we are almost there. And Pluto in Aquarius will indeed be the time that that occurs. Mark my words on that. Okay. Also, because Aquarius and Uranus, really, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, and Mercury is a mental planet. So Uranus is also kind of a mental planet as well. Okay, and I do believe we'll also be seeing wonderful new medical breakthroughs as well, especially in regards to people who are suffering with things from dementia and Alzheimer's, for example, and Parkinson's disease. Things such as that. I think we will be very close to finding a cure for those things indeed as well. And in the last few years, we've even seen, medications created which can help slow the degenerative kind of process down in diseases such as Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's disease, and so on and so forth. And I think that will also be improving as the years go by, especially while Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius. A full cure for them may even be discovered. It's a very big possibility indeed. Okay. Now, this is because Uranus is actually a mental kind of planet as well. Uranus is the higher octave of the planet Mercury, which rules over one's perception, communication, and so on and so forth. So this is also why Aquarius will be, influencing people on a more mental and causal plane level as well, as a result of that connection too. And of course, conditions such as dementia and Alzheimer's and so on and so forth are connected to the brain as well and how the brain functions. So we're going to be having even more medical and scientific discoveries in regards to neuroscience as well. Okay. I mean, scientists still haven't found where consciousness resides within the body. Now, some people suspect it could be within the microtubules, but we'll wait and see. So Pluto really is the destroyer. Okay. It is the destroyer of worlds, not literally, but like the destroyer of your world, your worldview. Because really, if you're living under illusions, what Pluto will do is destroy those illusions so that you can see the truth. So that's why I correlated before Shiva with Pluto, because Shiva in Hinduism is known as the destroyer of ignorance. And that is because he's a symbol for pure consciousness itself, the very deepest level of our soul. And that's also what Pluto represents. Because once you live in a pure consciousness state, you realize that all of the form and everything, even though it's fun to experience them, are ultimately illusions. And there is only one consciousness that exists within the multitude of existence. So we're going to be seeing some amazing new healing modalities as well. Maybe even healing technologies such as med beds, could even come to prominence during this time as well. One overlooked aspect of Pluto and Scorpionic energy is its healing qualities. All water signs and their ruling planets are healing planets to some degree. Pluto is no different, but Pluto has a very blunt and drastic kind of approach to healing, whereas in, Cancer and Pisces are a lot more soft and gentle, but Pluto is like just basically throwing it into a furnace so you can burn all your illusions. It's kind of twisted in some ways, but I am a Scorpio, so I've been living with that energy all my life. I've got the Scorpio Sun in conjunction with the Scorpio Pluto by 2 degrees. So, that is very intense indeed. So it's a very exciting time to be alive. And I think that we chose to be here at this time. And I think also that this Scorpio in Aquarius transit even though the age of Aquarius has begun, but it will be officially underway. While Pluto is in Aquarius, it's like going to be so much more evidence that we are no longer in the Piscean age, but we are in the age of Aquarius. Like, it's going to be tremendous. So, yeah, if you'd like an astrology reading from me, feel free to visit my website. The link is in the description below. Also, please check out my new novel, which is a sci-fi story based within the Sirius star system. As you can see, the characters are drawn in anime and manga style. I've had a very talented manga artist design them and draw them for me from Barcelona. Thank you, Alex, for that. Do check that out. It's a very transformative kind of story because I really want to also reach a younger demographic of people to really share these metaphysical truths and concepts with. And I want them to be able to grasp them through a fun and engaging story. So that is my motivation behind writing Blue Orca. And 10% of all proceeds go to a dolphin and whale preservation charity based in the UK as well. So you'll not only be reading a fantastic story, you'll also be contributing into helping preserve and also the conservation of, wildlife as well. So it's definitely worth checking out. The link to that is also below in the description. Also, in the comment section, please let me know where your Pluto is in your chart. What sign is your Pluto in? What house position is your Pluto in as well? Because depending upon what house Pluto lands in your chart, this will determine how Pluto in Aquarius is going to affect you personally. And also, the house that is ruled by Aquarius as well will be greatly influenced too. So do definitely let me know. I'd love to hear some of your responses. So that's it. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Also, let me know if you want to see more astrology videos, okay? I really just want to make videos about, the great generational and planetary shifts that we're all going to be experiencing over the next few years so people can really navigate these stormy waters that we're all going to be experiencing. So that was really the motivation behind recording this video today. So yeah, I hope you join me again next time. Please check out my channel for all of the other videos I've made in the past as well. They're really informative and of course they're free to watch. Until then, see you next time. Peace.